How are you, mate? You alright? Yeah? Don't lose your cue, Luke. Nice one. You've got to change that top though, trust me. It's my runner, man. You'll be taking me away in a minute.
It was nice to meet you, alright?
I'll be back there for all of you before the day's end. I'm glad you turned up.
We're open! Yay! And also, we're not late either. Here we all are. Welcome everybody. Welcome. Pay attention to this. Every single thing you're going to consume in here was grown or reared by British farmers. Apart from the quinine in the tonic. Otherwise, everything else is British. Help yourselves, grab yourself a pint, grab yourself some great food, enjoy yourselves, it's a nice day, and there's no traffic chaos. It's all good news.
Haven't seen your ploughing skills, so you've been practicing.
Practicing pulling a pint. It's actually not that difficult to do that.
So Jerry, what would be harder, being a farmer or a pub landlord?
Well, if I open a cinema, that's all three, isn't it? I think they're the three disastrous industries to be in. I don't know about running a pub yet. We haven't done it. Well, we have for 4 minutes, but I'll let you know. Just really, there's so many things you don't think about running a pub. You don't. I mean, this morning, yesterday we had a soft drink, and someone's supposed to smash the lavatory door. It's like, when you go to a festival and you go in the box and think, does your bathroom at home look like this? And then you break a bathroom door. So,
Just for come and see it, see what he's doing.
Couple of pints, see how good the food is.
See how his next venture goes.
Yeah. Just to support him, really. He's supporting farmers. We want to help support him supporting farmers. We have looked at the menu, but I'm not sure what I'm going to go for yet. I think it depends on how many pints I have.
I'm looking at the gammon. It's quite nice.
Come on, let's go get some drinks.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Definitely time for a pint.
Oh, Jeremy,
No selfies today, sorry.
No, busy day.
I don't even know where to begin. We had a soft opening yesterday, and at 12 o'clock, and at 10 past, the extractor system broke, and without that, the gas cuts off. So for 5.5 hours, we weren't able to serve any food at all, and it was pouring with rain.
Oh,
So
no.
it was a complete and utter disaster yesterday.
But that's good, because that's like a dress rehearsal, right? You know, things have got to go badly on the dress rehearsal.
That's exactly what I thought. I mean, today, I've just done a round of all the animals on the farm, got a sick pig, so I had to deal with all that. I've only just really got to the pub, and there's a queue already that goes, you know, oh God, miles, as far as the eye can see. Oh, people, not cars. The roads are running well, that's the main thing. We haven't caused any traffic chaos yet.
Yeah, the council's very worried about the traffic chaos, aren't they?
Yeah, but we've really worked hard with them, actually. Oxfordshire County Council has been fantastic. And we've got parking for, I don't know, it's a boring thing to say, but it weirdly matters with a pub. We can park about 200 cars on site, and then we've got overflow parking in fields nearby. So we should be okay.
How are you keeping the punters in the queue happy? Are you sort of doing a jig, or you know?
There's a queue. It's honestly, it's really long queue already, which is great because this is all designed to help farming, British farming, that is. And so the more people that come, the better it is for the farmers.
So take us back to when you had this madcap idea, which is the latest in a long line of madcap ideas, really, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it was really when I was not allowed to have a restaurant at Diddley Squat Farm. But the idea of having a farmers' cooperative just lived in my head. So I thought, well, the only thing we can do is get a pub. And all of them pretty much are for sale around here, all of them. You walk in and say, is your pub for sale? And they react in one of two ways. They either say yes immediately, or they fall to their knees and sob with gratitude before saying yes. So we were embarrassment of riches, and then we found one that had a lot of parking with an amazing view. And so that was the obvious one to get, so that's what we bought. And then we set up the cooperative. So we go into a field and buy directly from the farmer at a proper price. Say, I'll have that cow, that cow, that cow. Then you go to a pig farm and say, I'll have those pigs and those lambs and that venison. And then we've done the same with fruit and veg. And then it all comes here, and all the farmers benefit. We've even got a farmers bar here, so if it's raining, it's a farmers clubhouse, we've called it. It's upstairs. If it's raining, you can come here as a farmer and have a free pint.
Wow. So the weather's pretty bad over the bank holiday weekend. You're going to be handing out a lot of free pints.
Well, if the farmers come, we will, and that's the point. Because I used to call it being unhappy, but it's now called mental health issues, and there's a lot of it in farming, and the suicide rate is ridiculous. And I think if a farmer just goes, well, look, there's no point sitting at home in the rain, not being able to do any work, and then looking at the bills and thinking I can't pay those. If you go to the pub and it's full of other farmers and you sit and have a chat, you just go home and feel a bit better, about things, I think.
And
So
in
that's
terms
the
of
plan.
and it's going to sell, as you say, produce from your own farm, but also farms around, and
Exactly.
nothing beyond that.
No, the only area I've felt every single thing you consume is grown or reared by British farmers, even the wine, the bit, everything. It's all English wine. The salt and pepper is English. That's expensive. Homegrown black pepper is £100 a kilogram, as opposed to £10 for imported pepper. But if we're supporting British farmers, then we're going to go buy British.
Well, even down to the pepper.
Pepper, yeah, salt, pepper, sugar, everything. You can't buy Coca-Cola here. You can't have a cup of coffee. You can't have chocolate here. You certainly can't have an avocado. The only area I've failed is quinine in tonic water.
Right.
That's the only. There's no way round that I can see.
Wow.
So we do have foreign produce in the tonic water, but I think that's about it.
And who or what is an Aunt Sally? Because I know you've got one.
Aunt Sally is a very old Oxfordshire pub game. It's huge around here among the old boys in all the various sort of old drinking pubs. And it's basically you just throw sticks at what looks like a sort of something from a stair banister and try and knock it off. And there's a big league, and our neighbouring pub just along the way in the White Hart in Minster Lowell, apparently they're heading the league, but the farmer's dog is going to have a team, and we'll see how we do.
Right, big sticks.
You throw a stick at a wooden ball, for want of a better word, and try and knock it off the post it's on. Gerald's very good at it.
Oh yeah, I can imagine that. And what about Caleb? How's he involved in this pub?
Well, hopefully he's on a tractor somewhere producing food for it, because, we need the flour, we need the vegetable oil, we need, all of the stuff from Diddley Squat. We've got our lamb here this week. It's actually Diddley Squat lamb is on the menu, and our mushrooms are on the menu, and then it's other local farmers are providing the beef and the pork.
So you don't think that you and Caleb are just going to be sort of drinking the proceeds, propping up the bar?
I'm not drinking.
You've completely sworn off the booze?
Well, what's interesting is that my doctor has said, listen, you've got to cut that down, and our husband is our wine merchant.
Ah, okay.
So I've got him going, you need to buy a lot of wine, and her going, you can't drink it.
So how long have you been off the booze then?
Oh, no, it's just while we get this damn thing open, you need to be pretty sharp. And, I did 35 hours on the tractor last weekend harvesting.
Right.
And that was all the barley for the Hawkston beer that we're obviously selling here. And then...
You can't be drunk at the controls of the lamb bar.
No, well, you can. You can, actually.
But you could do a lot of damage.
No, definitely would never do it, but I'm sure you can.
Wait, so come tonight, once the pub's had a successful opening day, are you going to be raising a glass then?
I might have a pint tonight. I might have a pint, if it's been successful. And it's actually, the sun is shining right now, and I've just arrived, and there's no traffic jam at all, nothing. Everyone's been saying it's going to be awful, there's nothing. And then we've got a 5-acre site here, and it's rammed, so it's good. It's all working well so far, but we open in, as I say, 45 minutes. Well, at 12 o'clock, you're probably playing this later, in which case we opened half an hour ago.
Yeah, and I must let you get on in a minute because I know it's an incredibly busy day. But just what kind of landlord do you think you're going to be?
Absent. No. I mean, I'm going to be here certainly in the foreseeable future every day. But the truth of the matter is, you get up in the morning, you've got the geese to let out, you've got the pigs to feed, the cows to feed. There's always some goats have to be moved or sheep, so you've got to do the animals. Then you go down to the pub, and then you've got to go back in the evening to do the animals again. And then obviously we haven't finished the wheat harvest yet, so I've got that to do, and I've got 3 newspaper columns to write every week.
Well, exactly. And, you know, I know Caleb's on the tractor, as you said, but Lisa, I always like to see Lisa as the kind of force of calm amidst all the chaos that you create. Is that happening today?
I wouldn't have called that calm last night. Because I mean, the thing is, it's not just a pub. It's actually a pub and a restaurant here. But then in the garden, we've got the old Grand Tour tent. It used to be a show called the Grand Tour, and it was operated from a really large tent, which was lying around. So I've erected it in the gardens here, and that's got a butcher's shop in it, selling all British meat, obviously. And it's got an off license selling our Hawkston beer, and then it's got Lisa's farm shop in it. And then, you know, you can go and get we've got kebabs and burgers, but the kebabs are made with fresh, proper lamb and British chilies, and the burgers are all British produce, and, you know.
And, you know, before you go, I've got to ask you about the final episode of the Grand Tour with your longtime colleagues, James May and Richard Hammond. Told it might be quite weepy, is it?
The last few minutes, it's quite emotional. I think it was emotional, but the weird thing is, and even though the cameraman's phone just went off, I have worked with Casper for 470 years. So you'd sort of say, "Oh my God, this is it." You know, and that final scene was it could have been emotional, but who am I saying goodbye to? Because we use exactly the same crews and producers and on the farm show as we do on the car show. So I basically said, well, that's it, everyone. See you Monday on the farm.
Yeah, but what about James and Richard?
Well, yeah, I can see them whenever I want.
They'll come down the pub.
Yeah, I mean, well, James probably won't, but Richard will. Yeah, I mean, I talked to Richard only yesterday. So, you know, we're mates, and I will still see them. I mean, it's been we couldn't possibly have imagined we'd be together 22 years when we started out. And so it's a wrench thinking, God, we're never going to do that again. But by the same token, I don't have to go through Terminal 5 quite so often. So,
and you get to race your Lambo around the farm. So when's the next instalment of Clarkson's Farm?
Well, that's a good question. I think we'll probably we'll finish filming season 4 in a couple of weeks, edit that, translate it, get it out maybe May, and then we'll start filming season 5 pretty soon.
And it is going to be Clarkson's Farm, not Clarkson's Pub.
Oh, it's Clarkson's Farm. It's a farming show. Yes, we've got a pub, but you've seen a million programs where you see the chef in the, you know, cooking, Gordon Ramsay, Marco, and so on, and you've seen, you know, running a restaurant, Gordon Ramsay, you know, out front of house and what have you. This is about how you get the food to the pub. It's not about running a pub. It's about how the food gets to the pub. So as soon as I really dropped the mushrooms off, which I did this morning, it's like that story's over. We've got great chefs. They can do all that. I don't know anything about cooking, and, you know, people will come. But the farmers have got to keep this place supplied. And that's going to be the interesting story. I mean, I'll give you an example of just how difficult it is. So if I have a pig and I butcher it, or slaughter it and butcher it, and turn it into a sausage, that sausage will cost here 74p. If I buy imported pig meat, make it into a sausage, it's 18p.
Yeah, that is amazing.
Something's wrong with our food system in this country. My pig reared on my farm, by the time it gets here, it's got a cost of 74p. An imported sausage, 18p.
So what's your message to the new government? Do you think they get the kind of rural economy at all?
No, I don't think any of them have set foot outside Kentish Town for the last 35 years. No, they're a hopeless bunch.
So would you invite Keir to your pub, Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister?
No, he's banned. He's the first person to be banned. He's actually on a board in the hall. He's banned.
Why? What have you got against him?
Hello? I thought you were running a news operation.
Okay.
He hasn't done much to endear himself to me yet. Well, we'll have a look at farming. It all might turn around, you never know.
Come here.
And sorry, this is the final question. You keep emphasising that the parking is all fine. We saw your struggles with the council. You really, you know, you fell out with them big time. Is it all sweetness and light now?
It's better. I mean, to be honest, it was... Yeah, I'm not sure we fell foul of the council. I think we were it was a tricky
They fell foul of
times
you.
over at the farm shop. But yeah, no, there were problems, definitely big problems, and that's West Oxfordshire District Council, who have not been, they've been pretty helpful, but Oxfordshire County Council, hats off to them. They've really bent over backwards to help us. They really genuinely have. It just couldn't have been more helpful, from environmental health through to highways. Every single bit that could have been a problem, they've made it not a problem. So they've been really good to us.
Well, I must let you get back to the bar, or behind the bar at least. Jeremy Clarkson, thank you so much for
Back to
joining
the farm, actually.
us. Get that
All right,
product
thanks, Kathy.
into the pub. Thank you so much for joining us on The
right,
Thick of It.
take
Great
care,
to speak
thanks.
to you.